If you're in the market for some leading-edge stereo gear, Denmark is the place for you. Way up here on the West Coast, you'll find a company that produces components fit for a Tonemeister. Bang & Olufsen is known for two things: state-of-the-art sound and state-of-the-art style.
It has to be more than just great sound. It also has to look good. It has to be a work of art.
And they're more than willing to destroy their art if it means building a better sound system.
We'll break anything to ensure that it doesn't happen outside of Bang & Olufsen.
They call them torture tests. The goal is to abuse products and packaging like customers do.
We do the transportation test. We do the drop test. We do the pump test. We do a cold storage test.
It's similar to a car company doing a crash test. We do exactly the same thing to our speakers.
But the real test is the sound. Enter Jeff Martin. He's a classically trained musician with a PhD in music technology.
My job title is Tonemeister and Specialist in Sound Design.
His title may be Tonemeister, but his colleagues call him the ear.
I design how it sounds. We have somebody else that designs the look, and my job is to ensure that you get the best sound quality.
He does sound quality work in the Cube, one of the largest acoustic measuring facilities in the world.
We can isolate the sound of the speaker from the room, and therefore we can see what the speaker does in anyone's room.
One of the speakers he helped design is this, the Biolab 5. At $8,000 a piece, it's one of the best speakers money can buy. You get 2,500 watts of power, distinctive Danish design, and something unique, a tiny microphone that tunes the speaker automatically to any room.
So it starts a test tone with a microphone at one location. Then it moves the microphone out and does a second measurement of that same test tone. And what it does is compares how the speaker is different in those two positions to determine what the room is doing to the sound of the speaker.
The result is the closest thing to having the instruments right in the room.
I would like them to be able to say, I've never heard it like this before. This is what I want at home.
Now that they've mastered home audio, the Tonemeister and his team are moving on to cars. Their goal, build the best car sound system in the world.
We go as far as we can to get the best sound. We're never satisfied.
But the acoustics in a car are a Tonemeister's worst nightmare.
None of the speakers are in the right places. The listening positions are wrong. Everybody's sitting in the wrong place to get a decent sound. The acoustics inside the car are a nightmare. And lastly, it's a very noisy environment. We have to deal with road noise from the car itself and the adjacent traffic.
They start with speakers, 3 times as many as in most cars.
We use even up to 19 loudspeakers, and we distribute them as tweeters, mid-ranges, woofers, and subwoofer.
The speakers fit inside special cases to prevent vibration.
We also use damping material in our closed cabinets in the car, and I'll show you a difference. For instance, this is a closed cabinet without dampening, and this is the kind of sound that comes from it, like an empty bucket. And here we have another closed cabinet with dampening material, and there's a big difference.
Speakers even pop out of the dashboard, aimed directly at the driver.
This one will help us to have the horizontal dispersion as we need.
Add 2,000 watts of power, and you have all the components for a killer sound system. But it still has to be tuned.
We normally spend up to 200 hours in the car tuning for each individual position so that each passenger in the car gets an optimal listening experience.
A top-of-the-line Bang & Olufsen car audio system costs about $6,000. And the company is still pushing the audio envelope. It's working on an experimental system with more than 60 speakers.
This is what we're trying to give to the customer, is the same experience that the original artist wanted to give them, whether it be in a car or a home setting.
For the Tonmeister, it's an experience that turns the science of sound into high art.